Alrighty guys, we're back for Mono White Enchantments, and this is a Foundation Standard brew, and I'm Red Cat. Let's briefly go over the deck, then hop right into some Ranked. We got the basics in here. We got all 4 Optimistic Scavenger, of course, all 4 Shardmage's Rescue, because protecting our creatures is important, all 4 Sheltered by Ghosts, of course, right? Got a couple of Feather of Flight in here, too. Main goal with Feather of Flight is actually to send Regal Bunnicorn into the air. It's a 2-mana rabbit unicorn. Its power and toughness are each equal to the number of non-land permanents you control. Awesome stuff, and there's going to be a lot of great ways to continuously get non-land permanents stacked onto the board, like Spellbook Vendor, for example, making the cut as a 4 of, not a bad creature at all. Some more protection packed in for our creatures. Skrelv, Defector Mite, also a way to help us slip that Regal Bunnicorn past the opponent's blockers. More ways to do that, and more ways to send it into the air. Ajani, Caller of Pride, 3 mana, 4 loyalty, legendary planeswalker. Got a +1 to put a +1/+1 counter on target creature. -3, target creature gains flying and double strike until end of turn. Of course, that could be very deadly with a Regal Bunnicorn. Although I will say, curving out in this deck list with a turn 3 Ajani isn't actually that great. I would say Ajani on 4 or 5 is actually where we'd want to place this. All right, Enduring Innocence, because card draw is pretty important. Also fitting that enchantment theme, of course. We have Overlord of the Mistmoors, too. Looking at that impending for 2 and double white. We're not really looking at this as a 7-mana card in here. Now, when it enters or attacks, you create 2 1/1 white insect creature tokens with flying. So just playing this out with impending 4, you're getting 3 permanents onto the board. Boosting that Regal Bunnicorn by 3 sounds pretty darn good, doesn't it? Then we also have a Dollmaker shop here on the top end, but got to do some rearranging because it's actually, we're looking at that 2-mana side here. Enchantment Room, of course. Whenever one or more non-toy creatures you control attack a player, create a 1/1 white toy artifact creature token. So another way to go wide potentially, right? Just again, fitting that enchantment theme. Also has the Porcelain Gallery here. 6 mana. Creatures you control have base power and toughness, each equal to the number of creatures you control. So we're not going to be activating the Porcelain Gallery too often in here, but when we do, watch out. I'm pretty sure it'll overwrite the Regal Bunnicorn's ability, so I guess keep your eye on that. I haven't actually been able to test that, but I'm pretty sure. Oh, also guys, Ethereal Armor, making the cut as a 1 of. Should be a pretty darn worthwhile 1 of, huh? 24 total mana. Hopefully that's not too much. I think there's going to be a lot of moments in this deck list where we want to see 4 on turn 4 to actually play 2 of our 2-drops. Also, the extra mana we can use like Spellbook Vendor's ability and stuff like that too. So yeah, if we flood out a little bit, I think it'll actually be beneficial for this deck list. Honorable mentions, guys. Case of the Gateway Express almost made the cut as some more removal. Invasion of Gabagon could have been pretty cool, and Ossification was in here for a time. I actually just ended up just leaning into that Sheltered by Ghosts, of course. But Ossification kind of feels a little bit underplayed, doesn't it? All right, guys, let's go ahead and take this into some Ranked and see how we do. Right into that first game. What am I expecting from the build? I think it's going to be good, man. We'll see, though. We'll see. We go first. Yeah. Here's a great opening hand to showcase why we have 24 mana, right? We definitely want to see our 3rd. And at this point, we definitely want to see our 4th. Ethereal Armor. Is that going to be worth swinging into? Might be a vendor turn, too. All right, we'll try the swing. We haven't seen too much Elspeth Smite in the past couple months. Opponent, thank you. Spellbook Vendor. I got nervous, man. It was sticking. Okay, Archive comes down for the opponent. Honestly, Sheltered by Ghost isn't terrible, is it? But I think it's going to be Ethereal Armor. And we will drop the armor. The Scavenger already has a big target, but we're going to split this up anyways. Put the... Yeah. We'll split it up like this, right? Put it all onto the Scavenger then, too. Again, both have a pretty good target, but I'm going to split up the damage here. It's a pretty good turn, man. Oh, I want the 3rd mana. I almost sent that for some reason, guys. That could have been bad. No, I definitely want the 3rd. If we go right into Ajani, I mean, that could be pretty good. They definitely need some removal here. Ah, temporary lockdown. Crap, that's like best case scenario removal for the opponent. Good thing we found our 3rd. Let's think about this. Of course, Sheltered by Ghosts is non-land permanent. We'll be able to pick up temporary lockdown when it comes time if we can have a creature stick around. That's an if, huh? If we just go Ajani, we can start plussing. Alright, I'm going to risk the Regal Bunnicorn. I wouldn't risk it if we had the 4th lined up, right? But there's no guarantee that we actually see the 4th mana off the top here. Raise Mind Tome. And it wasn't the 4th either, so... Alright, we can attempt the Sheltered by Ghost on the Regal Bunnicorn. If they spot remove on the stack, though, that is rough business. We could just try to set up with Enduring Innocence, but next turn could be a Sunfall easily for the opponent. Give me 1 second, buddy. I am thinking this through. It could... both plays could be equally risky. I'm going to set up with the Enduring Innocence. I'm pretty sure that's spot removal in the opponent's hand. Or a counterspell, right? So we're going to try the Innocence and then try Sheltered by Ghosts on the lockdown next turn. It lands, though. I'm a little bit afraid to attack into this, but it wasn't Elspeth's Smite earlier. And I do think that it would have been on the Scavenger. Just some basic spot removal, maybe. They take the 2. At that point, I'm expecting board wipe, guys. We'll see, we'll see. Okay, their 5th land is tap land. It's a Day of Judgment. Yeah, luckily we get the Enduring Innocence back. Mana off the top would be pretty good here. Sheltered by Ghosts. Crap. Good news, though. They're tapped out. We can at least establish Ajani. It's not terrible to establish a Planeswalker. Submit 0 here. No creatures to actually target. Unfortunately, right? We'll see what we can get done. But a counterspell on the Overlord of Mistmoors would be very ideal for the opponent. That would have been the turn to establish it. Oh, now we have another turn, right? Where they're almost tapped out here. I wonder... Oh, they are going for the mill. Mana was on top, guys. Oh, no. Oh, no. No, we missed the mana. Okay, wait. This is great, though. Skrelv. Seeing one of our 1 mana creatures was essential, huh? That's really good. So, Sheltered by Ghosts can go onto the Skrelv. Well, we'll see. This could be... Ooh, Dollmaker Shop. Yeah, we got to try the Sheltered by Ghost, right? We're kind of in danger. Either way. Okay, it does land. It wasn't like an unsummoned style ability. We should do this, but we are looking at like a Sunfall potentially next turn too if we do this, right? So let's go with onto Scavenger, I guess. And then let's put the +1 onto, I guess, the Vendor. I don't really know how I want to spread this out right now.
Let me show you how to fight.
Out of mana. Hopefully the Jace doesn't mess us up any further with the mana, right? It was still a really good turn because we were able to get a little bit more wide here, which is what we're trying to do with the Overlord of the Mistmoors too. Day of Judgment, guys. Brutal stuff. It does pick up their Maze Mind, though. That's actually pretty funny. So that kind of helps us a little bit. They go plus on the Jace to get it back up there. There's our 4th, guys. Beautiful. Now the question is Overlord gonna land? Yeah, going going right against control. They controlled us really well here. Guys, it lands and we get the card draw off the Innocence. Pretty good, man. We got the plus here on the Ajani. Watch the -8 on Ajani be the way we win, right? So create X 2/2 white cat creature tokens where X is your life total. They don't have haste though, which is of course a problem when we're running into board wipes. Okay, they go plus on the Jace. Passing it back. More mana, and I'm not mad about it. I think that's actually pretty good. Because at some point we might need to activate the Porcelain Gallery here. Another Overlord, of course, could be good. I'd rather them counter the Dollmaker shop, though, over the other Overlord, because this could help us reestablish after another board wipe when it comes time. Let's see what they do with the Dollmaker shop. I'm on the edge of my seat, opponent. What is it? It's going to be a 3 steps ahead, and they're going for the card draw for the turn, too. Okay. So, we could... Let's see. Sheltered by Ghost could pick up the Jace, maybe? It doesn't seem that great. Might be something better with this Sheltered by Ghost when it comes time. We'll go plus on the Ajani, of course, right? Because the double strike on a 2/1 isn't worth it quite yet. We weren't really able to get too much damage through. No, they're going to have something here. A little bit of tempo. Into the Floodmaw. Now we only have a 0/1. Crap. Maybe I should pick up that Jace. The ward on our insect could also be pretty good. We should play it while we have it, right? While we actually can land it. Jace is a lot of value. This actually gives us a swing too, I guess. All right. Soon, Overlord of the Mistmoors will be an actual creature that can swing as well. I don't know who's in this right now. I think this is anyone's game. We're definitely pulling off a little bit of sustainability, though, against control. As far as I can tell, at least. Like, I'm not feeling out of this at all. As a matter of fact, depending on what the opponent does here, I mean, we could go -3 on the Ajani, give double strike to the insect. That's 8 damage, but I'm pretty sure they're going to have something. 4 mana open, 3 cards in hand. They pass it back. More mana, I guess, actually isn't bad. I guess? No, it's actually... Since it's not our 7th, I guess it is pretty bad, but... We could start by... Well, it might not be bad. Impending on the Mistmoors for 4. This gives us 2 open. Play around specific counter spells, but then also if we draw into a 2-mana card off the Innocence... We want to start with this, guys, because whatever they're planning to do to the insect is important. All right, I don't think I'm going to risk the -3, even though that could be a really cool way to win the game. Just more mana off the top, unfortunately. They got enough to go ward to if it's something simple like a Get Lost. Probably going to spread out the Ajani's counters here then. We're just going to swing for 4. We're not going to risk anything against control. We just have to know that they have something. You know what I mean? And it is going to be an Elspeth Smite. Easily pays the 2 here. They get their Jace back, which is pretty significant. Because it was only 3 loyalty when we picked it up. Now it's 5 loyalty when they get it back. All right. Let's go plus on the Ajani. We don't want to go -8 because it could run right into a board wipe next turn. We have enough on the board for now. I don't know, man. I'm feeling pretty good, but it's anyone's game. Next turn, we could go -8 on the Ajani just to draw on the Enduring Innocence, which could actually be pretty darn cool. They go -2. Okay, actually pretty good because they got rid of some planes off the top. But hopefully we don't just draw into more planes anyways. There's a Sunfall. I'm glad we didn't go -8. That's only one Sunfall. So Regal Bunnicorn is going to come in. We're actually not going to draw on it because it comes in as a 5/5 once it lands. I think we're going to go -8 on that Ajani now, guys. Let's do it. That's not something you see every day. 21 cats entering. More mana. That's pretty gross, though, huh? So Regal Bunnicorn's a 25/25, but we're just going to keep it in hand. We are forced to play around another board wipe, guys. Yep. End the turn. Overlord is actually powering up here, too, which is terrible news because, of course, the opponent really wants to wipe this board anyways. Oh, wait, no, that's next turn. Wait, no. No, the opponent's just activating stuff on the stack and confusing me. We'll see what ends up happening here, guys, but always feel free to skip ahead if you don't like the control matches, because this could easily be a loss, too. We're going to stick this out, though. I think we could get there. They dropped the GGs. Is it going to be another board wipe? Because that could actually be a GG's, right? Oh, it's Jace number 2. Yeah, good game, opponent. Ah, they milled us out, guys. So both of us having a lot of sustainability. Of course, control built to do so, but still. That was a good one. I'm not too sad about it. We were able to keep going against first temporary lockdown landed right on time, 2 Day of Judgments, a Sunfall. They had well-placed counter spells. Yeah, it wasn't bad at all. If we had like a splash of another color that could give haste, then that maybe could have been a different game. So that's something to be said. I went mono white for a reason. Maybe in the final thoughts, we'll talk more about that. Maybe it should be a Boros build, for example, right? Now, we'll see, though. The opponent's not always going to have the temporary lockdown right on time, too. So if we could have just squeezed through a little bit more of damage in that early game. Or if the opponent missed one of their board wipes, too. Yeah, 4 board wipes in one match. And we were still feeling pretty good. That's kind of crazy to think about. Or in that early game, we missed that 4th mana for a few turns too. Oh, man. Yeah, that was a good one. All right, I like the hand. I think we'll find the 4th mana easy peasy when it comes time to play the Overlords. Shardmage's Rescue is beautiful. We could keep the protection open on the Skrelv for the Regal Bunnicorn, which I think is worthwhile. So no attacks. It's going to be Giada, though. We didn't need to keep the protection open, but I think it was still worthwhile. Ooh. Feather of Flight. Yeah. Yeah, that's pretty good. Get that Bunnicorn into the air. Oh, Sheltered by Ghosts is pretty good too. All right, so swing with the 4/3. Not being able to pick up Giada means they do have some ramp into a 4-drop Angel, but with Sheltered by Ghosts in hand, we have 2 forms of protection, Shardmage's Rescue and the Skrelv open too if we need it. Oh, it's not going to be ramping into the Angel. It's going to be Invasion of Gabakhan first. So they probably take the Sheltered by Ghosts, make that more expensive. And I hope we see our 4th right on time this game, huh? There's a lot of reasons that we have 24 land in here. It can swing with Giada because it has Vigilance as well. It's getting over the Skrelv anyways. So this is interesting too. If they would have went Invasion onto the Shardmage's Rescue to try to remove Bunnycorn, we still had protection with the Skrelv, so having both forms of protection is actually pretty neat here. I guess they wouldn't have had enough mana anyways, but yeah, you guys know what I mean. All right, I'm going to keep the protection. Another Shardmage's Rescue. Right. They're going to flip the Invasion of Gabakhan next turn, potentially. Could maximize damage with the first one that they know about. We could also swing with the Skrelv. I don't think that's worth it yet, though. I was going to say, we could swing, see if they block. Yeah, so they know we have the Shardmage's Rescue. I imagine there's going to be more removal in their hand, but they also know we have the Skrelv too. So depending on what they end up doing here. So another target creature you control gains Toxic 1 and Hexproof from that color until end of turn. Of course, against what the opponent's playing, we're probably going to call white when it comes time to protect the Bunnycorn with Skrelv. 4th mana off the top, guys. Next turn. Come on now. First of all, this is not a 25 mana deck list. I think that'd just be silly at that point. Oh, crap. That's not good. You know what we should do? We have like one turn before they completely pull this back, right? We should just play the Shardmage's Rescue on the Regal Bunnicorn. And then any like permanent we see off the top, hopefully we can slip this by with the Skrelv, right? We got to get 10 through. Ethereal Armor. All right. What a top deck, dude. We can pay the 1 and we call white and we swing with the Regal Bunnicorn. Woo, buddy. Yes. That's what we like to see after that first game, huh? For sure. And that's kind of what I'm expecting from a lot of the matches, but again, 4th mana hiding from us. That should be a little concerning. But we'll see. That also like double Overlord of the Mistmoors. If it was just one Overlord, then maybe I wouldn't have been complaining as much about not seeing the 4th. Really what we wanted the 4th there, though, was for the Shelter Bag Ghost that they made more expensive too, so. All right, let's keep the ball rolling. I think we can easily roll it into some more victories. Guys, while I have you here in the middle of the video, make sure you check out that description where we do have that Discord link, as well as that Patreon link too, if you're interested in joining either of those up or supporting the channel that way. Also, for the YouTube side of things, if you like the video, make sure you actually drop it a like. And if you enjoy the channel, then consider subscribing as well, because it really does help out the channel. So thank you guys. Woo! Triple Ajani. Let's keep it. No. No, we should. Oh, crap. Opponent goes first as well. we should mulligan. Our turn 2 is looking like Scavenger, keep Rescue open. No guaranteed turn 3. Okay, but it's like, it's too funny not to try, right? Because if anything happens to our first 2 Ajanis... Oh, Sheltered by Ghosts is actually terrific. Yeah, I'm not running right into a Torch the Tower or something here. Or Heart Challenger. Or just Burst Lightning at that point if Challenger's in the build. Ooh, another Scavenger is actually not bad. So a couple draws, not terrible. We could just go the second Scavenger, but again, we could just wait till next turn as well. Keep the Shardmage's Rescue open. Okay, they're going to plot up for the turn. There's no way we're going to attempt a block when they have the Verge open still. Because sure, we could boost the Challenger to 3. Or yeah, the Scavenger to 3, but they can easily boost the Challenger above that in Gruul, so no blocks. It looks like we kept the Shardmage's Rescue open for nothing, but also not necessarily nothing. If we would have tapped out, they could have said, well, drop the removal now, right? Okay. Mana. It's not mana. Oh dear. We could go Sheltered by Ghosts onto the Scavenger, see if they got a Snakeskin Veil style ability. Probably not worth it. We're struggling to see the mana today, guys, but this was most definitely a mulligan hand with the triple Ajanis anyways, so maybe we could have found more mana after the mulligan. I think we still have to keep the Shardmage's Rescue open, but since I don't plan on blocking with Scavenger, we can at least swing. I mean, there's nothing else to do for the turn, so yeah, we're keeping the Rescue open, but I mean, as opposed to playing the Feather of Flight or Sheltered by Ghosts for that turn, right? A Feather of Flight could have been decent too because of the card draw. We could have seen more mana. All right, let's see what they could pull off with the Slickshot Show Off. Actually, I bet we could die this turn. I bet we could. They could play their 4th. They don't have their 4th. Okay, that's good news at least. But with 3 mana, they could still do a lot of damage. All right. No blocks. If they got it, they got it. We could have a pretty decent block on the ground into the Scavenger, but either way, if it's a Monstrous Rage, then we're pretty much out of this next turn then, right? So if they have it this turn, I guess it is what it is. Giant Growth. Yeah, so it would have been... If they don't have Trample to give to the Challenger, then it would have been a worthwhile block. But we don't know it's in their hands, so... For an Inside Out, it's not Trample. It might have actually been a worthwhile block. That's 15 damage, and... We're alive! All right, let's go all in with the Shardmage's Rescue. Oh, they do play their 2nd mana, though. What's it going to be? It could be a Lightning Strike now, since they found... Where'd they find that? Oh, they found that off the Challenger. Oh, Callous Sellsword. Oh. Aw, man. Aw, I thought we were alive. Darn. Well, let's be real, guys. Even if we mulliganed, or even if we found our 3rd mana, that probably wasn't going to be ours. That would have been very difficult for any deck list that we brought against that with pretty much any cards in hand. The best case scenario would have been the Sheltered by Ghost right on time for the Challenger then, but they were about to get a free Slickshot Show Off. Actually... How boosted was their Slickshot Show Off at the end there? I think they would have won just with the Show Off, right? So even if we picked up the Challenger, we would have had to pick up the Challenger and swung, which would have meant that they would have had to miss protection for their Challenger or missed instant speed spot removal for our Scavenger. I keep saying Scavenger and Challenger, and I'm getting like... I'm getting dazed and confused as to which one I'm actually talking about. But you guys know what I mean, right? Like, there was no guarantee of anything that was in the opponent's hand. They kept mana open for a reason, I'm assuming. All right, good hand, but I'm a little concerned by the double planes right now. The deck list has proven that it really wants mana every turn. Swamp. Ew. Okay, you could pick up the Skrelv, I guess, if you want. Haha, they missed the cut down. And I'll tell you what, Skrelv being an artifact creature is kind of no joke, because Go for the Throat doesn't hit it. Passes right back. I think we're going to go Scavenger. I'm like, guys, we're going to see the 3rd, right? Right? Pretty sure. I'm just going to keep Rescue and the Skrelv open, I'm pretty sure. Yeah. We're going to keep them both open. Going to be Unstoppable Slasher. Nice. We could go maximum damage here, maybe. And get the Optimistic Scavenger into the air next turn. We see mana off the Feather of Flight. We could go Ethereal Armor. Still have the Skrelv protection open. I'm going to go for it. Let's do it. We're missing that mana, guys. All right, we'll find it off the Feather of Flight then. Let's go all in onto the Scavenger. We missed the mana, guys. Holy cow. Oh, oh, woo! Do not swing with that Skrelv. All right, well, at this point, all these matches in a row, 24 mana. I mean, there's no way it's a 25 mana deck list, guys. I can't actually be considering that right now. Yeah, we're going to stick to 24. All right, Skrelv, what can you get done for me, buddy? Because I went for the Shardmage. Oh, we just lost the game. Oh no, guys. Oh no. Well, crap. Skrelv can't block. Good game, opponent. Oh no. So first of all, even again, another match. If we saw the third mana, we were about to lose. So the best case scenario there would have been keeping a blocker back for the slasher. At that point, I would have overlooked that anyways. But if I didn't overlook it and say like, oh, well, they're about to hit their fourth, maybe they have the combo in there, right? Then if we did find the third, then Ethereal Armor on the Scavenger would have been best case scenario because First Strike, of course, helps us get around the Death Touch on the Slasher. Probably would have held the opponent back for the whole turn. All that's something to consider. Jeez, bro. All right, 31 minutes in, and I'm like positive we can end on a high note, dude. This is one of those things. I had incredibly high expectations for the deck list. It's underperforming big time. So I'm feeling good though. I haven't lost a lot of confidence with the build. Right now, I'm just concerned we're not going to see any mana. I do have 24 in here, right? Pretty sure. All right. Opponent, what you bring it to the table, buddy? This could potentially be the last match of the evening. Beautiful. Something I want to note right now is I really like Skrelv in here. If one of these Shardmage's rescue was a Skrelv, I'd be very satisfied with this hand and start with the Skrelv probably. I'm actually gonna hold back on the Scavenger, guys. The opponent could play a Swamp, drop a cut down, and we'd cry ourselves to sleep real fast because we only have one creature in here. So waiting for turn 2 to actually have protection on that creature, I'd say is a little bit better. And then a turn 3 Dollmaker shop could be the way to get more creatures onto the board then. They ended up playing a tapped land anyways, but you guys let me know in the comments, do you think it's worthwhile making sure that the Scavenger's protected? Hopefully it's not cut down number 2. Opponent, don't do it. Oh, opponent. I'm so sad. Oh no, guys. Oh no. That's something that we really wanted to avoid. It would have been, it's possible that they missed the swamp, but I'm pretty sure if we played Scavenger without any open mana, I'm pretty sure that they would have skipped the tapped land and went right into the swamp, right? I'm pretty sure. That would have been tough. Spellbook Vendor, at least it's a creature, dude. I'm not going to drop the Ethereal Armor. Hopefully, 2 cut downs out of the opponent's hand. Opponent. Stop it. Stop it. No. I can't believe that, man. All right, we're going to pay the 1. Spellbook Vendor, you got to hide, bro. You got to run. 3 cards in the opponent's hand. They go search in here. And a treasure token. Holy cow, Vendor's around. Woo! It's great news. We could go... So, Dollmaker shop. We probably want to start with the swing. We probably... Overlord is a pretty good draw, too. Yeah, we don't want to waste the turn on an Ethereal Armor. So, decline. Swing. Get a 1/1. Get the Scry. Skrelv is decent. Is it really something we want right now, though? I'm going to send it. Skrelv is something that we really wanted at the beginning of this game, I would say. Got the 4 through. Let's get the Overlord down and hope that they miss the board wipe, guys. Because this is a deadly cover-up style of build, isn't it? Go right into Collector's Vault. Treasure token still have 4 open. They find a 5th mana. Or 5th open, I should say. Well, yeah, no, 5th mana too, I guess. All right, guys, there we go. Jeez, man, at that point, I was starting to get real nervous. Just in general about the deck list kind of getting picked apart. Triple cut down, brutal stuff, man. Keeping that hand with just one creature felt not risky at all because we had double Shardmage's rescue, you know what I mean? You just never know sometimes. It really, really depends what you're up against. We could have easily been up against an opponent that didn't have cut down in the build, you know what I mean? So at that point, that hand would have been really, really good. We ended up drawing pretty well too. Spellbook Vendor was good. Overlord was excellent. But I'm pretty sure that's how the deck list is going to draw usually. Guys, do we just end on a high note? Taking down Golgari feels pretty good. No, one more. And win or lose, I'll be relatively satisfied. Let's see how, if we do lose, let's see how bad we lose. And if we do win, then, you know, maybe we can say some of those losses were relatively unlucky. Could have come down to me too. Mulligans are relatively important, right? Looking at that triple Ajani game. All right, opponent, what you bring it to the table, buddy? A little bit of a slower hand than the rest of the hands that we've seen today. But I think it's keepable. I think this would be a little bit of a... It's not like the greatest hand, but it would be a little bit of a silly mulligan, right? Scavenger. I'm going to skip the Scavenger and just go right into Vendor. Establishing... Oh, they might just bounce it right back anyways. Be a decent tempo play just to bounce it. They decide not to. There's... They decide there's going to be a better bounce in the future if we're rocking enchantments, probably, right? So, at that point, double blue, nothing to pick up with a Sheltered by Ghost. A counter into the Innocence would be really bad. So, Optimistic Scavenger, maybe. And then Vendor's Ability. We could go Sheltered by Ghost just for funsies. Because Ward 2 is kind of no joke. Lifelink's kind of no joke too, honestly. They let the Scavenger land. We attempt Sheltered by Ghosts on the Scavenger. We won't have Spellbook Vendor's ability. So we'll hold back for now. We'll go for the Vendor ability. We're going to plug the extra counter onto the Scavenger, though. Roll onto Vendor. Counter onto Scavenger. See if we can get that scry in. We can get that scry. Against mono blue, the Overlords might be really good, right? If we can land them. Even if they counter one, we'd have a second one. No, I'm going to send it. I'm going to send it. There's probably something better that we could see. But going wide against mono blue is pretty good too. Into the Flood Maw. It was going to be some tempo. They just waited for the last moment, which means we got an extra counter on the Scavenger. Which I guess isn't terrible, is it? Skrelv, okay. Right. So we could still consider that Sheltered by Ghosts. Skrelv and Enduring Innocence for the turn also works. Where do we want their counter spells to land, guys? That's the question. Really would like Innocence to actually land. Alright, let's try the Innocence. I think Innocence and Skrelv is the best play, but it's also a really good counterspell for the opponent. And so 3 steps ahead, it's a full-blown counterspell too. So we do get the Skrelv down for the turn, and we get a swing on the Scavenger as well. Not the greatest, but not the worst, because if Skrelv does not have a huge target on his back right now, then we could start protecting our other creatures potentially. Ajani comes down. So they don't know we have the Sheltered by Ghost, but could easily be some more counterspells for the opponent. They actually tap out with the Ajani, guys. Wow. That's great news for us, man. Skrelv is open for protection now. We can call blue easily, but Sheltered by Ghost has to land this turn, I would say. while they're tapped out, pick up that Hottie Gen. That's like really, really good. I think we go all in to the Scavenger as well. Ethereal Armor is fine and dandy, but we just want to establish more creatures here too. The opponent's tapped out. I'm just going to do this now, guys. I know it's good practice to wait till the end, but... Actually, with Vendor, it's actually good practice to play before combat too, if you do have the extra mana, I suppose, right? Yeah, we don't want to swing with the Skrelv by any means. Ooh, Terror comes down. That's pretty good. They are tapped out, though, so... Skrelv number 2. That could be interesting. So, Ethereal Armor before combat, and then Spellbook Vendor ability is probably better than... No, they're tapped out. We should take the time. Establish the Overlord of the Mistmoors, right? The extra +1 counter will go on to Spellbook Vendor. I think we might take the turn to not swing. Keep the protection open on Skrelv. And get over that terror pretty easily when it comes time then. I hope that's okay, guys. No attacks. Yeah, so we could, of course, all blue on Skrelv, slip the Scavenger through, get him down to 10, then we have no protection open. I think that's pretty essential to keep the Skrelv protection open, try to get around the terror next turn instead. I'm feeling good, but this could be anyone's game easily, man. Picklock Prankster coming down for another blocker in the air, which is actually good for them. 4 islands open, 2 cards in hand, probably another counterspell in there, I would imagine. Uh-oh, third Skrelv is actually pretty bad, isn't it? So, Ward 2 is already on the Scavenger. So splitting this up, going Ethereal Armor onto like the Vendor, or just onto a Flyer, that also works, I guess. See what they do with this Ethereal Armor. This would be a great counterspell. But they don't know what else we have in hand too, so... Going onto the Flyers is probably the best bet. Definitely want to pay this as well. Put it onto the other one. So this has to be an absolute... This has to be a nightmare for the opponent, right? Being this wide and being able to stack our creatures like this. All while having Skrelv open for protection. 5th mana, we send that. We're not doing anything with that 5th mana right now. So Dispersal, we can call blue on the Skrelv. We can pay the 1. We don't have to pay the 1, but call blue. There we go. And then we have another Skrelv to play, but it'll be, it'll have Summoning Sickness anyways. So let's hope they don't have anything fancy on their turn. GG opponent. Yeah, no, I understand that. I was feeling pretty good. Against Mono Blue, it's really tough for them to deal with a wide board state in general. And something we haven't really seen a lot of Mono Blue tempo recently, guys. And something I recommend trying. Look, man, I'm not a blue player, so I don't know too much, but Aether Eyes is a card that I've been keeping my eye on. I feel like a couple Aether Eyes would be pretty good on the top end of Mono Blue. You know what I mean? Yeah, something to consider, I guess, right? At some point, I want to revisit just classic Mono Blue tempo. The last time we visited Mono Blue was Mono Blue Pirates, which is much more my style of deck list, right? But at some point, I got to rock some Hottie Gen, see what we can get done, you know? All right, guys, we were able to get that deck win rate back up a little bit to what I was expecting for the build, and I think if we kept going, I think we'd be able to pull off even more victories as well. Skrelv, yes. I still love this card, man. It's a card that we haven't been seeing as much recently. I'm not entirely sure why. I don't know like what cards we're seeing in the meta that's just like, oh, well, Skrelv isn't worth it anymore. Is it just like too slow? Is that why people aren't playing with Skrelv? I don't know, man. With all the spot removal all the time, no matter what, all the trump blockers all the time, no matter what, Skrelv helping you deal with all that, I think it's worth the 3 of. A little silly that we saw all 3 in that last game, but I don't know, man. don't sleep on Skrelv, especially if it's already in your collection. I think it's well worthwhile trying out again, seeing how it works in the current state of the meta, you know? What else do we got, man? What else do we like about this? Spellbook Vendor, the ability really coming in handy. It's actually another creature that we just don't get to see that often, and kind of sort of same concept with Regal Bunnicorn popping up in bunny rabbits every now and then. Maybe it's like a one or two of. Really, they're rocking the Selesnya version of Regal Bunnicorn, which that's silly to say because it's a little bit of a different card. I don't remember the name of it right now though. Let's see if I can find it. Burrowguard Mentor. I can't believe I forgot the name of this, guys. I love playing with bunny rabbits. Yeah, its power and toughness are each equal to the number of creatures you control, but it also has trample too, which is why bunny rabbits play like 4 of those. And then every now and then we'll see a couple Regal Bunnicorns in the deck list as well, but we're just mono white this time around, and of course, not going the bunny rabbit route completely outside of the Regal Bunnicorn. We really want it to be non-land permanents in here because it works with all the extra enchantments that we're playing, all the extra auras, of course. Overlord of the Mistmoors boosting the Regal Bunnicorn by 3 when it comes down on turn 4 is actually just really freaking sick to me. I would have loved to see the Ajani do a little bit more today, but pulling off the -8 in that first game, I guess I can't complain too much. It's just too bad we couldn't actually pull off that victory with the Ajani, you know what I mean? Feather of Flight, definitely going to be worth the 2 of. I don't know if we want more of these. Similar concept with the Ethereal Armor. It's definitely worth the 1 of. Do we want too many of these in here, though? Probably not. Like, what are you going to drop? You going to drop some creatures? I don't know if that's the best thing you want to do, you know? I'm actually feeling pretty pleased by the balance of everything in here. Dollmaker Shop, we should do that rearranging. Dollmaker Shop is one we could easily drop. It's a mythic too. So what would we add to the deck list? Dollmaker Shop comes down as another non-land permanent. You swing with the Bunnicorn, you get the toy. That's another permanent as well. So it would the trade-in would probably be a card that can give you a couple permanents. But then also, if you do end up, if the game goes on for a while, the Porcelain Gallery could help. But remember, like I said earlier, I'm pretty sure I brought this up at the beginning, it doesn't help the Bunnicorn. Now, I haven't been able to test this. It has something to do with layers as far as I know. But the Bunnicorn's power would get overwritten by the Porcelain Gallery. And again, I haven't been able to test that, so let me know in the comments if I'm right. So keep an eye on that for sure, because it would probably be weaker at that. Well, no, it would definitely be weaker if it does get overwritten, which I'm pretty sure it does. Aside of that, if you're going wide with other things, like in that last game, we didn't even have a Bunnicorn down. Porcelain Gallery could have helped, but we were looking pretty clean anyways. And also, I don't think we had 6 mana either, so 24 land. Huh. Yeah, we want the 24 land. Guys, for this deck list, look at all these 1-drops, right? We could consider, that's actually pretty tough because there are going to be so many turns where you want a white source open. You know what I mean? So you go up a Mirex and it only mana fixes you for that 1 turn. I think it's going to hold you up. But 1 Mirex probably wouldn't hold you up too much. That could come in handy, but I don't think so. Mirex still takes 3, and to tap it just to generate the 1/1/1 could give us a little bit more sustainability. It works well with the Enduring Innocence too. But outside of Mirex, I would not consider... Where am I? Let's take a look at some of this land real quick. I don't think I'd consider any other, like Fountain Port also generates that 1/1. That could work well. Works well with the token side of things with Overlord and Dollmaker Shop too. Yeah, that's not really what the deck list is trying to do. And I'm pretty sure tapping for colorless is actually going to hold up this deck list. There's just too many moments where we want to keep a white source open. You know what I mean? I wanted to bring that up, though, because even in the honorable mentions, I probably should have put some of these land. If you're going to go up any utility land, I would consider Mirex. Mirex is a 1 or 2. Let's see. Yeah, mana fixes for your turn. You'd want to use that white mana immediately on your turn and then keep open your other planes. So 1 or 2 Mirrex probably wouldn't hold it up. The Mites do have Toxic if the Toxic ever does matter, because we do have other Toxic with Skrelv. It probably wouldn't matter, though. Did I talk myself into Mirrex? No, I don't think so. Not this time round. I actually just like how all 24 planes looks. My mana bases have been getting more and more complex as time goes on. The more I play Magic, the more the mana bases are just like filled to the brim with everything. So I actually just like how clean the 24 planes looks here too. Guys, yeah, I do think if we kept playing, I think we'd be able to bring that win rate up even further, but I don't know how further it would actually go. I think it's decent, but I'm not 100% certain. I'm a little confused. Let me know in the comments. What did you guys think of the deck list? Do you think it deserved those losses, or do you think I should have dropped the mulligan more maybe? Or you think we got a little unlucky not seeing our mana on time? Everything I brought up during those matches, I think is pretty essential though. Like some of those games where we didn't see our third on time, it was like, even if we saw our third, I'm pretty sure we were going to lose anyways, just based on how the opponents drew and what we had on the board state at any given time as well. More removal. In the honorable mentions, guys, I brought up ossification. I actually think like a 1 or 2 of ossification would be really, really good in here. So dropping a Dollmaker shop for that. I was saying like, yeah, you want to go up something that actually gives you more permanence on the board when it comes time. Ossification is a permanent on the board. It doesn't generate extra tokens or anything, but it would probably still be pretty darn good in here. So that would be a budget trade out. Guys, is this one to put on the do not craft list? Yes, I would say craft a little less based on your collection for sure. So for example, if you don't have the Dollmaker shop, definitely do not craft it, especially since that's the card I'm looking to trade out to begin with, right? I'm not going to, but it's already on the chopping block. Overlord of the Mistmoors is another mythic. If you don't have all 3 of these, you don't have to craft them. Just find something else, maybe another token generator that you have in your collection. I don't know what that would be right now, but I would recommend if you do trade it out, make sure it works with Enduring Innocence too. Or maybe you have all 4 Enduring Innocence. That's a great one to go ahead and trade up. Maybe you don't have 3 Ajanis. 2 of those if you had that 4th Enduring Innocence. So whenever I say like craft a little bit less based on your collection, it really does matter to base it on your collection. It really, really does. And that's the best way to save wild cards. You know what I mean? Outside of that, the base things, Sheltered by Ghost, Optimistic Scavenger, and Rescue are all uncommons. And they go into like every version of enchantments that you can imagine. So if you really like enchantments and you're going to build Selesnya enchantments, or you're going to build Azorius or Bant even, right? You're probably going to be pretty satisfied that you crafted Sheltered by Ghost, Scavenger, and Rescue. You know what I mean? And similar concept with the Ethereal Armor too. And Feather of Flight for that matter. There's a lot of uncommons in here, so. All right, guys. Hey, enough rambling, huh? You made it this far into the video for real. Y'all are champions. I super duper appreciate you, and I will see you in the next video.